for NFL football, and it is this place, wondrous SoFi Stadium here in Inglewood. It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with a rookie drafted in the 3rd round. And he'll get a few yards here to the 34. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. More from L.A. in a moment. 2nd down and 8. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. You talk about this Jets defense.
Yeah, they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
You have to like the way that they've played in the first month. They have to be very proud being a top 10 unit against the pass. Their goal, though, in this one, see if they can improve that ranking.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Here's Rattler. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable. And sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field with his traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy. But they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
They'll throw. Here's Rattler. There's a short one pulled in by Sinnott.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he is going to have the Chargers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile.
Rattler wants to throw it.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Chargers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. They'll start on the ground. Hall.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
But you talk about the defense for these Chargers.
They come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, it'd easily move into the top 5.
Second and 6. A short throw caught by Andrews.
He's across midfield. And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down at the 25-yard line.
Big yardage that time for the Jets. 42 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Straight ahead is Hall.
And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now.
A hole to dig out of here. 2nd and 17.
throw. Barker. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left.
Well, that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a fourth down. Riley Patterson now on for the field goal.
This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And he didn't get it there. No, it's no good. Just shy of the crossbar.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Charger drive about to get going. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. To the air is Rattler.
Looking middle, and that's complete.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
He's got the hook up downfield to McConkey.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Down to the 25. They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And he is going to have the Chargers first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Throwing is Rattler.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now Rattler.
He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Chargers have... Touchdown lead now.
So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And that'll make the score 14-0.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Handoff, running left. Here's Hall.
And he's got room.
And he'll have a Jets first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
On first down, right back to Hall.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 6. They'll go again with Hall. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
And that's going to be incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Parker.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Derwin James with a pick.
And the Chargers are going to get the football back at their own 17.
You've got to know as a quarterback that's going to be tough to outthink this guy in the defensive backfield. He's been at it 11 years now, so he knows all the ins and outs of the position, and he's in the right spot there to come up with the interception.
The Charger drive about to get going. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
It's J.O.K. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in there for the sack.
No question, that was needed by the defense because they're already trailing by a couple of scores. They had to get off the field without allowing another one. That sack on the first play, that may have derailed this drive.
They'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I've got a good friend in football, always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
The Chargers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and a mile. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
And good coverage there by the punt team. They're able to get down there and drop him with authority. They'll give to Hall.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Off play action. Barker. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. Barker.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted.
And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, it's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth.
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. And the Jets are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
From the 31, here comes second and a yard.
Operating from the gun. Barker. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hall. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they're going to have to slow him down on passes just like this because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
2nd and 10. Hall want to give up the middle.
And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
But this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Barker. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Patterson's kick is good.
And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Charger drive about to get going. 1 second, all that remains.
They'll throw now on the final play. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Ready for the second half. 14-3 our score as we are back underway on EA Sports. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
All in all, pretty manageable deficit, Charles, here as they start this third quarter offensively when you consider the fact that in the first 2 quarters, they had 2 costly turnovers.
I think you laid it out there perfectly, partner. Very tough to hold a lead going into the break if you continue to hand it over on multiple drives.
Yeah, and obviously, Charles, it would be very tough to climb back into the game if those turnovers continue.
I would say borderline impossible. You keep turning it over, I don't know how you make up a deficit.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's second down and 5.
Back to throw. Barker. And a quick throw here. That's complete.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
A handoff for Hall.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Off the play fake. Barker.
Pass on the crossing route is complete. This is Andrews.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Running left, it's Hall.
Broken tackle. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21.
51 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Hall again on 2nd down.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Barker. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Patterson's kick is good.
And a 2nd field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now.
So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
The Charger drive about to get going. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Right back to him on 1st down. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Third quarter now from SoFi Stadium. Here's a 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Rattler from the gun, third down. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return.
And the Jets will take over.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Over the middle, complete. It's Hall. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
In motion comes the tight end left. They'll look to throw now on first down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
On the counter, it's Hall.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
This defensive unit ranks 3rd in the NFL against the run, and I love what they're doing. Plugging up everything inside, hard to make way, and then they can run to the perimeter and shut you down that way as well.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Back to throw. Barker. Flushed out right.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Looking to throw. Barker.
That is caught. And he is going to have a Jets first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Here's a give to Hall.
He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here's 2nd and 4 from the 24.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood.
It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the 4th quarter.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Barker. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it, you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the 4th quarter. Got to feel pretty good as a defense.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Jets have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
The way the game has changed a little bit is that defensive goals have changed in a big way. Nowadays, it's not so much stopping certain yardage or whatever, but it's not giving up big, explosive plays. Anything over 10 yards, you're trying to hold teams below that. When they get one against you, as we just saw there, boy, that really hurts them. It puts them back on their heels a little bit and makes them a little bit less confident.
Now this one finds McConkey.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Hands it off out of the gun.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense. So they'll try to move the ball closer here on 3rd down. A field goal from this spot would be just inside of 60 yards, 59 to be exact. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 25-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
40 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Now, we all know that an offense coordinator and a quarterback, they're aligned at the hip. But when you've got a runner who can get you that kind of yardage, that guy's invaluable.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
He's going to get it on the jet sweep.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown.
Lad McConkey, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And the lead is now 21-14.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Trying to get a big strike right there and hopefully tie this game up in the late going. But the coverage was there, and this winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Looking to throw. Barker.
This one complete to Jerry Judy.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
The first catch for Judy, good for a first down.
Off play action. Barker. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a one-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Throw right side, Wilson.
They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
Yeah, it's such a close game, a very big one.
I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
That's going to be caught by Judy.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
Operating from the gun. Barker.
He'll let this go for the end zone.
Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets.
Garrett Wilson, 38 yards. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes.
They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away.
Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. This is 1st and 10. Off the play fake, it's Rattler.
Out to his left. He's got his man on the crossing route. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down.
They'll throw. Here's Rattler.
It's complete downfield, out left to his running back.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
I think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10 now.
One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
So the road a little tougher here. Now 1st and 20. Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
Now a first carry for their fullback. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
A big play looming on 3rd down.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And he missed it. It's no good. And a costly one there, as this game remains tied here in the 4th. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Throwing to start the drive. Barker. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit, get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
That's pulled in by Wilson.
And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
Here's 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Barker.
Able to locate Andrews here on the out route.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So they tried to ice him there, but it's fair to say it did not have the intended effect.
And I've known kickers that take it as an affront. And there he says, you think you're going to rattle me? Think again.
And with time of factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. One final shot. They'll look to throw.
This ball intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for the Giants, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Southern California, so long, everybody.